everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show. And welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Hamathy Solo. Enjoy the show. Everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show.
Holy shit. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast with me, Matt Likes Games. I've got Ham Solo here. Ham's back from vacation. How are you doing, sir? First of all, that's the first question.
Well, he started the show with me playing my 360. Which I don't know if I cursed right when we started. And you just started laughing.
You did.
I was like, why is he saying that? Then I realized you said welcome, and I was like, but anyways, we here live, and my vacation was pretty good for the most part.
Nice.
The weird thing that happened that I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of the way now is I got into a car accident last Wednesday. So, I'm probably gonna, yeah. I have to get a call back from my insurance company after we get done here to talk about what all kind of transpired and whatnot. But it wasn't my fault at all, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, not at all. What's up?
Was it bad? Was it a bad accident? Was it just a fender bender?
I'm here, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But it was it totaled 2 cars, but mine wasn't one of them. I was the very front car, so I got the least amount of damage. But yeah, two of the cars were totaled out of the situation, which is pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
Yeah, I'm happy to be done with that. But anyways, other than that, camping trip was really nice out west of Denver, or not Denver, but Colorado Springs. Then I went to Denver, actually did some game shopping, got about 22 different new games. I put on Twitter that I got 20 games, right? But I completely forgot about 2 of them, which were probably 2 of the most important games that I got from there. One of them being Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Nice.
Got that for $20. Okay, pretty dope. It sounds expensive, right?
Not for that
Black
game.
Ops
It's not.
2. See, but people don't understand that, Matt. People will see that $20 and cringe like I did when I was in the game store. I was like, "Oh, $20 for that? You got to be kidding me!" And I was looking around, and another version that had Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 on it was like $43, and I was like, "No, that's silly. Yep. No one's buying that." And I just so happened to get mine for $20. I felt like I took the L right there. And then I get back home, turn on my Series X, right? Get ready to pop. No, I actually pop in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And then, when you go into the game, if you don't have it downloaded already, it asks you, make sure you get Nuketown 2025. It's free.
Yeah.
It tells you that when you log in. So once I logged in, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get Nuketown real quick. It puts me straight to the Xbox marketplace, the Xbox store, right? To download it. I go to download it, and as I'm scrolling down, I'm like, I didn't see that price. That wasn't real. No way. It's
real. That's a real price.
I scrolled down, clicked to download Nuketown 2025, and I scrolled back up to be like, maybe I was seeing something weird. But I got to the top of the page, and I was seeing how much the price was, and I looked at the price, and I was like, let me make sure this isn't a bundle. Like, wait a second. The price said $49.99 for Black Ops 2 today. Yep. Digital. And I was just like, are you kidding me? They're trying to get rid of this game in 2023 for 50 bones. And speaking of 50 bones, let me talk about the second game that I got, which was $14.99. And I knew I was getting a good deal. Why? Because this game is getting ported to PS4 and Switch for $50. What is that game? Red Dead Redemption, the original, which plays perfectly fine in my Series X, seeing that I got a physical copy. I wonder, I mean, obviously it's cheap on to buy it through the digital store right now through Xbox, right? But the one thing I was thinking is like, man, I better get it while it's cheap, and since the Series X is backwards compatible, because who knows what the stores are going to do once the stores see that, this is coming out, because I don't think it's, so, public knowledge yet that this is coming to the Switch and the PS4. I don't think it's public knowledge enough to know yet to possibly, because I think if it was public knowledge enough, these buy again stores would start raising the price for Red Dead Redemption, the original one for 360, knowing that it's backwards
like at
compatible.
The store. Yeah.
Yes, actually at the store. I don't know how Xbox is going to handle it, or better yet, Rockstar seeing in that it's their game and it's able to be purchased on the Series X. I'm wondering if that price is ever going to raise. So take advantage of it while you can now, while the price is lower.
Yes.
Because in my opinion, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Red Dead Redemption, the original one, is upscaled on the Series X.
It's 4K.
And it runs better.
It's 30 FPS.
It's still 30 FPS.
It's going to be 30 FPS everywhere you play it, except on the Series X and One X it will be 4K. Series S will be 1440p.
So, man.
Yep.
So it's literally just the same thing.
It is
for the Switch,
the exact same thing.
PS4. Tragic.
It's sad. It's sad.
And they're gonna pay upwards of $50 for what I just got for $14.99 used from the 360 generation. And and that's nuts. But you know what I found kind of interesting as well? You know how Undead Nightmares sold separately?
Yeah.
Since I got the Game of the Year edition for $14, it comes with 2 discs. One disc is only for Red Dead Redemption. The second disc is only for Undead Nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I just thought that was kind of weird, because if I were to play Max Payne 3, all I gotta do is throw in disc 1, which is also made from Rockstar.
Yep.
All I have to do is throw in disc 1, and I get the whole game.
Yeah.
And that's also a 2-disc game. So I just found that kind of interesting.
I wonder if you put in the Undead Nightmare disc, does it download Undead Nightmare? Because
it does, yeah.
I wonder if you do that and then put in the other disc and then start Undead Nightmare, if you just have it at that point.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, because I downloaded Undead Nightmare, took it out, put in the other original Red Dead disc, and it asked me if I own Undead Nightmare.
Oh, damn. Oh, Hard Days Mike, what's up? Too big, what's going on? Mike says bots never support the devs. Not for $50 for what? That was 2010, a 13-year-old game. I'm all set supporting the devs on that. But yeah, Ham's point's very true. Honestly, if you can grab that physical at a store right now, dirt cheap, I mean, go ahead and do that. Even on Xbox Store, like, there's not even a sale right now. It's $30 to get it digitally, no sale, and then an extra $10 for Undead Nightmare. It still comes out cheaper than buying it on PS4 or Switch, which is insane. That's without a sale. So, I mean, if you want to get Red Dead, I'd say go ahead and get Red Dead now, because it's probably, you got to save at least $10, the bare minimum. Because who knows, like Ham said, once the hype around it starts building, people are playing it again, they could raise that price. They could absolutely raise that price. So go ahead and get that. And you know what? I want to talk about the Red Dead port for just a second, because I talked about this with Mike, and you know, my thoughts on this is just that this is a joke. This is a joke. I mean, you remember weeks and weeks ago, like we did like 2 bull sittings in a row where we talked about Red Dead. I was very hyped. I was very hyped for anything.
I think everybody was hyped for the possibility of a new Red Dead. Yeah. Or not really new, but like a Like nobody thought it was going to be Red Dead 3. Let's get that out of the way.
Yes, 100%.
Nobody thought that, but we all were excited to see them push Red Dead 1 to today's standards, or better yet, Red Dead 2 and 1 being put into like
that'd be amazing.
4K 60, whatever, like, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. I even thought I would have been happy. I would have been perfectly happy. All they needed to do for me to be happy was just take the original Red Dead and make it 60 FPS. Obviously, I would have loved a remake, but if you could just make it 60 FPS, I'd be ecstatic. And to me, that was the bare minimum. And so to me, they did less than the bare minimum, which is just impressive. Honestly, not in a good way, but it's impressive. But yeah, in fact, we're talking about this. It's August 16th. Tomorrow, this comes out for PS4 and Switch. So you can buy this tomorrow, Mike, on your Switch and your PlayStation 5. So you enjoy that, Mike. I know you're looking forward to it. Too Big, you're also looking forward to it. So you guys enjoy that. But, oh, wait. Okay, never mind. But before the show started, there was some news that dropped that I'm hyped about. Mike, I don't know if you've seen this yet in chat.
Breaking.
But it looks like that Starfield has gone gold. Starfield's gone gold, and preloads for it start tomorrow on console. And then you DM me. I didn't see you DM me. Oh, yeah, you did. I'm sorry, Mike. But yeah, preloads start tomorrow on console, and then for PC and PC Game Pass, or Steam and PC Game Pass, it starts August 30th. So it's looking like we're going to find out that file size on console. We do know on PC it is confirmed 125 gigabytes. But I'm so hyped. We're so close to playing Starfield, and I've been waiting like almost 5 years. And dude, it's literally it's 2 weeks away. It's 2 weeks away, basically, which is just nuts. But yeah, I just saw your DM, Mike. But Ham, I mean, you're the one that broke this news to me because I didn't see it. I was getting things set up. So what was your reaction, bud?
I am hyped, but at the same time, I'm thinking like, yo, I gotta purchase I need to purchase that premium
upgrade.
The premium upgrade, because I am probably not going to use that code that comes with my Constellation edition that I purchased.
Oh yeah,
leave that the way it is, and the watch, probably not really gonna wear it a whole lot unless I go to and I told you before, unless I go to an event. I go to an event, especially an Xbox event specifically. If I could get to an Xbox event and have somebody from Bethesda, obviously Todd Howard, ideal thing. Yeah. But if I could get somebody from like a big name from Bethesda that I follow and enjoy watching, even the sandwich lady, if I could get her to sign my watch, I would be fucking ecstatic.
I'd put her right there with Todd and the sandwich lady. If they sign that watch, that'd be amazing.
Man, it really would. So that's what I'm looking to do with that. Other than that, it's more or less just like kind of a showpiece of stuff that I have. I'm not really gonna be messing around with that kind of stuff too much. I'm just really excited to have it. And as I told you, I like Bethesda games, but I've never really been like I bought Fallout 4 when it dropped. And I didn't really know anything about Bethesda, so I kind of picked it up, played it for a little bit, didn't know what was going on, and kind of just stopped. But I definitely enjoyed Skyrim much more. Just being able to, I don't know, I just like the world in Skyrim more than I did Fallout. Fallout, I just kind of, I've had a hard time with getting into the worlds that is Fallout. But one thing that I've always been into is space. And space mixed with the choices that Bethesda gives you in video games is just seems like the perfect marriage to me.
Dude.
You really want to talk about like wasting some time. I'm down to waste a lot of time doing the most silly shit.
Yeah.
I've been playing Atlas Falling as of lately, and I've never felt like a game was being used so inappropriately.
Oh my god.
Like
Explain.
I feel like I'm using this game inappropriately because each time I turn it on, I'm just like, this ain't Starfield.
Oh my god, yeah.
I turn it on, I'm like, this isn't Starfield, and I just gotta keep playing this until Starfield comes out. And it's not a bad game. It's pretty fun and all.
Mhm.
It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm surfing on the sand and I'm thinking about like how I'm gonna make my starship, what my person's gonna look like. Like I'm not even thinking about Atlas Fallen while I'm playing it. It stinks. And and I feel like it'd be the same thing if I was playing Remnant. It'd be the same thing if I was playing Baldur's Gate. It'd be the same thing if I was doing any other game. I'm just playing this game, but my mind is not there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel about any game. It's a really
weird feeling. You see what I'm saying then? 100%. It's a really weird feeling. But as for the download being available tomorrow, man, that just gets me even more psyched. I'm gonna have it ready on my Steam Deck, my computer.
Ooh, that's right.
And on my Xbox. So I'm psyched. I'm gonna make sure that it's downloaded and good to go everywhere. And then right after I get done making sure it's downloaded everywhere, I'm going ahead and buy that premium edition. So I am ready for that. So I don't have to open up my Constellation one.
There you go. So something funny happened while you were talking there. I just went to my Twitter. I retweeted your tweet, and then I got followed by Snowbike Mike.
Oh, let's go!
So
yeah, Snowbike Mike followed me just a little bit ago. He's really... He seems like a pretty cool dude. I asked him to be on my show Behind Them Sticks not that long ago, and he didn't respond, but he followed me. And no, he did respond with a thumbs up. So I'm assuming that he's down.
Okay, yeah.
He responded with a thumbs up, I believe, and then followed me on Twitter. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, that's nice. So Snowbag Mike seems like a really good guy, and I've watched him on Kind of Funny several times. So
yes,
he's a big Xbox guy, so that's fun. That's good to know.
Shout out to Snowbike Mike. Honestly, thank you for the follow. I doubt you're watching, but if you are, thank you for the follow.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, but dude, Starfield getting preloads tomorrow. I'm right there with you, man. I'm ecstatic, and I get what you're saying about Atlas Fallen because I feel that way about everything I'm playing. That's why like what I'm playing right now makes no sense.
You're just like, I'm just passing the time, not really doing anything.
Pretty much. I need to hop back into Remnant. In fact, I'd be down to play that tonight, Mike, if you're on tonight. But yeah, I need to hop back into Remnant because Mike beat Remnant. And
did he?
And I haven't beat it yet. Yeah, dude, Mike.
I thought you guys were playing that together.
Well, no, we were, and then there was one day where I didn't play it, and Mike just zoomed right ahead, and he beat it. So yeah, I need to catch up on that. But that game's great, but I feel the same way. It's not Starfield. I'm playing Red Dead 2, which is a phenomenal game, but dude, I'm just waiting for Starfield. Just waiting for Starfield.
I'm going through Red Dead 1. I'm going through Red Dead 1 all over again since I recently bought it. And the fun and the fun thing is I didn't beat it on this account, so I'm getting all the achievements all over again. I'm just like, here comes the achievements again and whatnot. Because like I told you, I lost my account way back in like 2012, I think, or 2013, pretty much right before the Xbox One came out. for being a dirty bastard, because that's what I am sometimes. But anyways, so yeah, I threw it on, and I forgot all about that silly race you have with that chick, Bonnie. The race that you have with Bonnie at the beginning.
Yep.
And man, it's just the running with the horses in that game is so less. It's not as detailed as Red Dead 2. So it's a little jank. It's a little janky, even though it's incredible for the time. I don't want to discount how good that game was. It was incredible for the time. But once you stick your teeth into Red Dead 2 and then you go back to Red Dead 1, you're like, whoa, this is kind of different.
It's different.
This feels loose. This feels real loose.
It's definitely different. But dude, yeah, like at the time that was incredible. That was like ultra realism. But now, yeah, like Red Dead 2 is just it takes the cake. And speaking of Bonnie, shout out to Bonnie, because that is my cat's name after Bonnie McFarlane. So I'm just saying that randomly. It was gonna be either Bonnie or Sadie, after Sadie Adler and Red Dead 2.
Sadie's a badass, man.
Sadie's dope.
You didn't name your cat Sadie. You don't have a Sadie over there, do you?
Nope, it's Bonnie.
I was about to say that might tear up your house.
She's be a little savage. She's ready to shoot, ready to kill anybody on a whim. Oh my god. But yeah, dude, I would like to beat Red Dead 2. I'm in the process of it. I've done it before, obviously, many times.
Right.
But I want to beat it again.
I know you beat it on like how many consoles now?
Well, I beat it on One X when it launched. I beat it again on Series X. I beat it on PC, which I'm playing it again on PC now. I was trying to beat it on PS5. I guess it's a PS4 version, but I was trying to beat it on PS5, and then I just turned on my PC and I started playing it. But I'd like to beat Red Dead 2, and I would like to play some of Red Dead, the original, before Starfield. I'm not going to beat it before Starfield, but I'd like to play some of that before Starfield. But I mean, it's not far away, man. It's really not far away. We're so close to it.
No, man, we're 2 weeks away.
Yep.
From the day that it will launch. Like it's insane. What was the technical time that you said that this game launched?
August 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be playing Starfield.
Which, that sounds insane.
Right? It does. It does, man. I really can't wait. Yeah, I got the actual Bethesda Game Studios tweeted out Starfield. Starfield, prepare for launch. Starfield has gone gold. Preloads begin tomorrow for Xbox S and X and Windows PC. So Windows PC actually gets preloads tomorrow, whereas Steam gets it August 30th. Okay, because I thought it was Windows PC and Steam for August 30th.
Yeah, that's why I told you tomorrow I'm gonna download it on my PC, Xbox, and Steam Deck, because they all have the Xbox app on. Or obviously the Series X does, but my PC and my Steam Deck. I mean, even your Steam Deck, you put Windows on yours, so
yeah. I need to download that
if you want to as well.
I'm absolutely gonna download that. I just want to see how it runs on Steam Deck. I might even do a video on that at some point, but it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see what that looks like on Steam Deck. Because I remember Todd got asked, "Is it Steam Deck verified?" And Todd just kind of laughed, and he's like, "We'll see.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That does not sound good. But all right. Yeah. We'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah, we'll find out. Pull like 30 watts on my Steam Deck. It'll die immediately.
Yeah, right. Remember my freaking what was it? My GPU was like hitting 105%.
You're using more than you got. You're using 5% more than you actually have. That's incredible.
I didn't understand them numbers on my Steam Deck. Was like, you're using 105% GPU, and I was like, oh shit, what does that even mean?
I bet Mike's PC doesn't do that. Your PC is not strong like that, Mike. Oh my god.
And they flexing like the devil.
What's up, back from the dead? Jeremy Brown in chat. What's going on, guys? Up next on our topics list, we've actually got to talk a little bit about Forza. I know I made that the cover because there's a good amount of Forza news. There's bad, and there's some pretty awesome stuff actually. So Mike says no because mine's a well optimized. No, it's not well optimized if it can't hit 105% GPU usage, Mike. That's
Yeah,
well
man.
optimized.
Man, mine is so overclocked you can't see it. I'm so far ahead in the lead, bro. You don't know what you're doing. And learn how to overclock your PC.
Right? Tell them, dude. Your PC is a piece of crap, Mike. That's what that PC stands for, honestly. It's a piece of crap.
Oh my god. Lay
So,
off.
motorsport, we've got some news on motorsport. I want to start with the bad news first because we're gonna end motorsport with some good news and some fun stuff. But bad news first. It's missing a few features. The main one that people seem to be most up in arms about is split screen. Split screen will not be there day one or at launch for Forza Motorsport. Now, I heard you and Loke talking about this yesterday. I heard your thoughts. I heard Loke's thoughts. My thoughts are, before I pass it off to you, I don't care about split screen. I'm not gonna pretend that I play it all the time. I do, however, recognize that not having split screen in a game that's always had split screen, felt the same way about Halo, is just lame. It's lame. And then it also, because of Halo, the only reason I really care is because of what happened with Halo, where it's like, it's not there at launch, but we'll get it eventually. And then eventually they say, it's not going to happen. Which is like, that kind of sets a precedent for this, where it's like, it's not there at launch, but okay, does that mean it's never going to be there? Or do you plan to have it there at some point? Who knows? But it's missing split screen, like I said, as well as AI racing and spectator mode. Which spectator mode, I don't care about spectator mode. I'm not going to pretend that I do. It says it's missing AI racing. I don't even know what that means, honestly, because AI is in the game. They can't have the game without it, so I'm not entirely sure what that even means. Do you know what that means? Yeah.
The AI racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the AI racing is like when somebody were to like leave a match partway through, the AI would pick up upon their skills and continue the race for them.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense.
So instead of us having AI racing from the start, it'll just like turn pretty much back into a CPU. And it will race like the CPUs were used to racing that track, unlike how the person that quit usually drives.
Okay, that makes sense.
Make sense?
That makes sense. Jeremy Brown says, I've never heard a Forza fan talk about split screen. Listen, I haven't. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I haven't really either. All I know is it's been there, and I think it's kind of silly that it's not there. But, you know, it is what it is. It's launching. And there is some pretty cool news, actually. But before we get into that, I want to pass it off to Ham. What are your thoughts about it missing split screen, AI racing, and spectator mode?
Well, here, I'll start out with the AI racing thing. Missing that kind of stinks because who knows, like, if you're beating someone's ass, right, and they get mad and rage quit, I want to continue racing that guy because he stinks. I don't want the AI to turn into like just whatever the CPUs used to doing around here, and they start cutting corners, looking good, doing things right. And I'm like, damn it.
Yep.
This motherfucker's getting back in the race. But anyways, so that's what would suck about that. And that's if you play no, I take that back. And then for the spectator mode, I could care less about that because I'm not watching people play games, and if I am, it's on Twitch or on YouTube. I'm not watching people play games in the video game. I'm not turning on my video game to spectate somebody else playing the video game I'm on. So, I mean, it's a nice added feature. I like the extra like touch that add, but is that keeping me from playing or me being frustrated that's not there at launch? No. Split screen, I'll tell you straight up, I've never played Forza split screen ever in my life.
Same here.
Never in my life have I played it. So I personally don't care. Loke brought to my attention that he does play split screen with his son and whatnot. So I could see why he would care. The only thing that makes me nervous is, as you said earlier, about the whole Halo thing. I'm not going to over extrapolate on that because we already know what happened, never came, and got canceled. And then, so I'm just hoping, and I think Forza will. I don't think Xbox is looking to make that blunder twice. So they're like, if you're gonna say that you want to do this, mean what you're gonna say and actually do it. Loke was more on the side where if you did it before, you could do it and probably will do it again. I'm on the side of like, you guys are trying to get on a roll for Xbox. I don't think that bad sentiment twice would be in your favor or something that you would even think to even give attention to. So I think they will add it, and I hate to say it or basically I hate to use this excuse at all because it's a shitty one and I don't like it. So I'm gonna say that first. But we live in an update world now. We do.
Yeah.
We get updates for ray tracing. Like what is it? What was that? 60 FPS with ray tracing and stuff like that. We get updates for stuff like that. We get updates for added maps, which we've always got, but without it being DLC, which is nuts. Yeah, we're getting updates for things that are supposed to be in the game, and this isn't something new with Forza or even Halo. If you want to go back to that, we've been getting updates for games since the 360 generation, like crazy. PS3 generation, like crazy. So it's just getting more and more relevant, and I hate to say this, but the honest truth is a lot of the development has figured out ways to put out part of their game, have you pay full price for it, and not give you exactly what they told you they were going to deliver at launch. If you want to rag on the Xbox, you can totally say Halo or this coming Forza. If you want to talk about other games that you didn't know had stuff that were going to be included into it later, let's talk about Ratchet and Clank and Spider-Man when they added ray tracing with the 60 FPS modes. Not saying that they didn't fool us though. So that's the difference between the messaging over at PlayStation versus the messaging sometimes with Xbox. PlayStation will deliver something and not tell you that it's being delivered, and so it seems like an awesome surprise. Xbox has a problem with telling you that they're going to give you something and then falling short and then coming later. It's literally the exact same thing, but the messaging is fucked.
Yes, 100%. 100% agree with that.
So that's all I really have to say on that. I think it's gonna come for sure, and I think that's the biggest misstep of the three that we're talking about is the split screen thing. But I also don't want to sit here and act like this is like us. I don't think it's the same situation as Halo. Although it feels like it, I don't think it is. I think it'll be better taken care of. In Forza, I feel like they are nowhere. this is crazy to say too, wild, but I think Xbox would be quicker to step back from Halo than they would from Forza. They'll take an L quicker for Halo than they would for Forza right at this time.
At this moment, I think, I think Turn 10's got a lot more goodwill. They've got much more goodwill than 343. 343, ever since that Pierre, I forget his name, Pierre took over, they're kind of crushing it. But they're
resurging for sure.
But that launch gave them a certain stigma. There's a certain smell on it right now where it's just like, no matter how much you're crushing it right now, you've got a long way to go. You got a very long way to go. Back from the Dead
made a really good point. He said Back from the Dead saying factions. Factions was technically not standalone. It was part of the first game.
Yes.
So just because you take it out and say now it's standalone doesn't mean that the customer didn't get less the next time around.
Yeah, 100%.
It's literally the same thing as not having some sort of split screen or whatever. It's missing a mode that fans already know about.
Yes, and that was said would be there.
The fans are aware of this, and now they're like, "Yo, where is this at?" I've heard plenty of the PlayStation community say, "Where's factions at? Where's factions at? Where's factions at?" We're saying the same thing over here on the Xbox sides about Halo split screen, which ended up getting trounced. But now we're saying the same exact same thing about Forza. I think Forza has is gonna do it, but it's just like, God damn, like, when will these developers, whether it's PlayStation, Nintendo, like Back from the Dead also said with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet coming out completely fucked. Like, when are these developers gonna, or not really the developers, because I hate that I do that. My mind goes straight to development.
Yeah, it's just it's,
but it's really the hierarchy, right?
It's the publishers.
It's the people. It's the publishers saying just send that shit. Just send it.
Yep. 100%. And I do the same thing.
We'll pay you overtime later. Just send it now. Send it.
Exactly.
It's like, man,
I do the same thing, and I gotta stop myself because I think last week me and Mike were talking about something where it came up. I think the Red Dead port we were talking about, and it's like, it's so easy to say, oh, this is such a lazy port, and it's like I don't think that, because it's not even Rockstar porting this, it's some other studio. It's like, and these people all love Red Dead and they're ecstatic to be doing this. They're just doing what they're told. They didn't decide, hey, let's do the most basic port we possibly can. Rockstar told them, hey, you're doing the most basic shit that we tell you to do. And they said, okay, I need money. This is a check. We're going to do it. And that's the way it works. So, yeah, it's important to make that distinction, and I fail to make that distinction quite often myself. Jeremy Brown's talking. He says, Marlon and Reforge were complaining about it, but don't even play the game. This is Forza, I think. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Mike says, you overspecified that it wasn't Dev's fault, but Take-Two. Yeah. See, Mike remembers what we were talking about. Back from the Dead, CPR was Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's not the devs. The higher ups ship the games even when the devs don't want to. Nobody wants years of work to ship like garbage. 100%, and that's what you gotta remember. There's no dev. I mean, outside of like the lazy stuff you see thrown in the Nintendo Switch eShop, or maybe the very 0.1% of games in the PlayStation Store, no dev is intentionally being a piece of shit. You got games like The Last Hope, and it's like, okay, I get your point on that, but then you got something like something like this, or like you brought up Cyberpunk. Nobody at CDPR, or yeah, CDPR wanted Cyberpunk to launch the way it launched. It launched the way it launched because they were told to launch it. And then you look at what's going to happen next month. We're getting a basically remade Cyberpunk from almost from the ground up. So it's like you could argue that they could have used another 3 years on that development cycle. You could make the argument for that. But, it is what it is. We're here now. Jeremy Brown says it's because the shareholders and suits want returns in their yeah, 100%. 100%, man. But some more good news on Forza Motorsport. I saw this. I don't know if you saw this from Clovero, but this was just a really interesting thing that I never even considered being a thing in a racing game. But when you're playing Forza Motorsport multiplayer, if you pause the game, your car will ghost and the AI will take over and keep you in the race at 70% of the speed. So, like,
That's amazing.
that's incredible. That kind of blew my mind when I read that, because one of the reasons I don't play racing games online too much is for that exact reason. If I have to pause the game, you're just kind of screwed. You're just kind of screwed. Whereas in this, you can pause the game and it'll keep you relatively in the race, and it's AI doing it. So that was really cool. And then also the other fun stuff about Forza that we can talk about is did you see the gameplay they showed?
That with the rain?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. I need to. Oh man, where's it at?
Is there any way that you could share that while we're talking about it?
100%. That's exactly what I'm about to do. Let's see. There we go. Now we got it up. I'm gonna put it full screen here. But yeah, this is the gameplay that was shared for Forza Motorsport. Keep in mind it's from Twitter. I should probably have done this from YouTube, so it's a little compressed, but man, it looks incredible. It looks incredible. And I've also seen people, dude, you know what I've seen so much this week? Whenever Forza does anything and there's news around it, just all of a sudden people go from never talking about Gran Turismo to just having to remind everyone that Gran Turismo 7's the best racing game ever made. It's like no one was talking about it.
I'm telling you, man, it doesn't matter. Like, you say anything that just goes against the grain of PlayStation at all, or it's just positivity for Xbox, which goes against the grain of PlayStation fans. Just that alone is it's gonna be a problem. Like I put just yesterday, I didn't say PlayStation or anything. I just put where's that damn tweet? I said I just put a mid-gen refresh to is a ripoff to consumers, and yet people still look forward to it. Ooh. And PlayStation fans got flustered with me saying that. I didn't see anybody really saying too much about Xbox, but there's a lot of people saying I got a 38, I got a 3090, I got 40 series card, I'm still gonna get the PS Pro. And I'm just like, okay. That doesn't mean you ain't getting ripped off. I mean, you can do it if you want to, but I mean, you're not really proving me wrong about that just because. Yeah, it just seems silly. If we're gonna get into this trend of continually buying a console just for somebody to tell me that my console isn't the best of its own platform just a couple years later, then what's the point?
I 1,000% agree. In fact, I want to talk about this when we're done with Forza, because like I've got some thoughts on a whole mid-gen refresh. I've got some thoughts, and I feel like my thoughts and your thoughts line up pretty well. But yeah, this was the Forza Motorsport gameplay. Mike says That is such a waste of money if you have a decent PC. Ham's PC is likely going to be more powerful than a pro model. Yeah, I mean probably. I would certainly imagine. Um, but let's play it again. But yeah. Trying to think. Do you have anything to say about the Forza Motorsport gameplay?
Man,
Before
I
we,
just really like, I mean, the attention to the way the speed looks, the rain kicking up around the tires look really good. I like
Mhm.
that. I always like that rain on your actual screen kind
Yes,
of
that's a nice
effect.
touch.
It actually, when I first seen this, what was it, posted this weekend, right?
Yeah, it was earlier. Yeah, it was during the weekend. I think maybe Friday, last Friday.
Yeah, well, I seen it. I didn't see it until Sunday because I was out of
Okay.
town. I was out of town at the race at some other races, which is funny. The NHRA races, watching some top fuel rail, like the rail cars that go like 300 miles an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, I
The
was
big
like
ass
at
tires on the back.
those massive tires that you can like sleep on, which I have before. Yeah, so yeah, those tires. Yeah, man. I went to those races, and when on my way back home, it was raining like crazy, right? And then I get back to my crib and I turn on my phone and look at this and see this gameplay, and I'm just like, man, that reminds me of being on the road just a little bit ago. Yeah, like it just looks really clean. Looks
It
nice.
does. It does. I definitely agree. I mean, this will be the first motorsport that I'm there. Granted, obviously it's in Game Pass, but this will be the first one I'm playing at launch. And this is the first motorsport I'm actually genuinely pretty hyped for. Obviously Starfield takes precedent, but as far as that, I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for it. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to check it out. When does this come out? October 18th? Is it the 10th or the 18th?
I think I thought it was October 20th.
October 20th. Okay. When does Spider Man come out? That's the 18th, right?
I thought it was October 10th
Oh,
for
okay.
Spider-Man. I thought it was. I'm gonna look it up real quick while you're right here.
Yeah, all right. Um, but yeah, let's get into that topic um about pro consoles because I mean you kind of shared a little bit of your opinion right there. For me, a pro console, like it was cool last gen because it was like the first time they did it. It was, oh wow, this is intriguing. This looks interesting. 4K, that's amazing. But
Oh, I got him flipped. Forza
so
comes out on the 10th. Spider-Man's on the 20th.
okay, that's what I thought. I
Got him
thought
flipped.
Spider Man was later in the month. Okay, yeah, but yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to both of those games. I mean, it's just a silly end of the year in terms of game releases. But yeah, pro consoles. I mean, I just don't think like if it's gonna start being a thing like regularly every generation where it's like, hey, you need the new thing to run the games that we said you could run without this, then it's like I'll just upgrade my computer. It'll cost less for me to upgrade my computer, honestly. Like I can switch to a whole different platform on my computer and it will cost less than probably the price of a pro console. You think $500, $600, and that's every generation after already spending $500, $600 when the generation starts. That's it's $1,200 a generation. 1,100. I mean, 1,000. It's I don't know. I just don't see the value in a pro console. Um, Ham, what are your thoughts on the pro console?
My problem is we are at a place in video games where sometimes we have a hard time hitting 4K 60. So I'm looking at, a graphics card that like my 3080, right?
Yeah.
Which is um which is a good graphics card or whatnot, but that price of a 3080 is more than one of the consoles costs, right?
Yep.
So with that being said, the current consoles do 4K 60 pretty well. Some or not 4K 60, but like do 60 frames or 4K pretty well, rarely together natively.
Yes.
My PC sometimes has hard times getting past like 70 or 80 frames per second with certain intensive games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how much of an upgrade can you really do by providing a pro console? We had this conversation not that long ago, Matt, and we were like, yo, if Star Citizen is having a hard time running on PC because of it being CPU bound, Starfield's looking like it's going to be a similar situation. Why would somebody want, or why would Xbox, better yet, want to make a console that is going to somehow outdo the Series X when it costs how much just to get this thing to get to 60 on a PC?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Like
I'm
how
still gonna be here. Keep talking. I'll still hear you. I just need to go help my mom with something real quick.
no, you're fine.
All right.
So I'm just like, I don't understand how exactly you're going to get me interested as somebody that has a PC already, understands that, yo, some of these games are just not optimized the best. I feel like you're more or less giving wiggle room and recharging me so people can make mildly decently optimized games instead of just giving me a great optimized game from the jump. And I don't see as well how you're going to get any better performance because we usually use terminology like 30 FPS, 60 FPS, and maybe the next jump from 60 is 120. Is there going to be some sort of buffer zone between 120 and 60 that we regularly have that can be put onto a console? And then as well, how is that gonna benefit a game that's CPU bound, possibly like a Starfield or something that needs more CPU power to be able to run this game at a faster FPS or whatnot?
Yeah.
Sure, Todd said that he got the game on Series X to sometimes hit 60, right?
Yeah. Sometimes.
But I just don't understand how you're going to give us this perceived value that, yo, this is better than what we just got a few years ago while PCs are having problems running some of these same games. And to me, and to me, it just goes back to optimization more than it is needing refreshing of new hardware all the freaking time, because it's starting to feel like cell phones in a way, as to where you're telling me I'm getting something new the year later or maybe 2 years later or whatever, when it's really just a marginal change that I really didn't need to pay all that money.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I guess my question with pro consoles, or my problem with pro consoles, is the fact that it, why not just wait till next gen? Why not just start a new generation early? Or like, and there's this focus on 4K at 60 FPS. That's not realistic. Like, Mike will tell you he has a PC with a 4080 and a 13700K. I've got a PC with an 11700K and a 4070 Ti. I'm not touching 4K. Not because I can't run it in a lot of games, because you can, but it's just not. It's too demanding. It's too demanding for not enough performance. So why is there this huge focus on 4K, especially on console? Especially on console. Like, we just left an era where 1080p was the norm. And we just skipped right over 1440p. We skipped right over it and we went right to 4K. Which is just silly to me. Like, it's like, why not just focus, instead of making a pro console, keep these consoles, lower the price. Honestly, you might as well lower the price, because you see PlayStation's sort of doing that with the sales. They're often on sale now. I'm starting to think they're gonna just lower the price indefinitely, and then once they release that pro console, which it seems like they're gonna do, that'll take the spot of the price that it is now. But I say lower the price and focus on 1080p 60 and 1440p 60, and then you're not using nearly as much hardware to get those targets as you are. We gotta hit
That's
4K
what Nintendo's
60.
doing.
Yeah,
That's what Nintendo's doing.
yeah, and I don't know why. I just don't get why it's not happening more. Like, I don't understand the jump from 1080p to 4K as opposed to 1080p to 1440p. Because I think now, if you look up what most people are playing on PC, it's a 1440p monitor. Like, I don't give a shit about 4K. I really don't care. Like, most games, even on my Series X and my PS5, most games I play on those things, they're not really 4K. It's upscaled 4K. Don't even bother with the upscaling. Just make it 1440p or 1080p. I don't get it. And you're gonna charge me $500 for 4K 60, which is on the box of the two consoles you already sold me. You're gonna charge me another 500, 600 for that? No, I'm all set. Let me know when. I was gonna say, let me know when the next generation starts, and then I'll be there. But I'm not there for a pro console.
Well, like, I just don't understand. Like, what are you gonna tell me about this new pro console? And this, see, I got into an argument a little bit ago with Reforge Gaming.
Oh, shout out.
And because he was arguing that, like, whatever the market looks like and wants it and whatever, and I'm just like I don't care what the market is really asking for. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Like, sure, the market's always looking to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can make something tomorrow, and the market's looking for it. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me why it's necessary. What is this going to do that the thing that I have purchased already isn't going to do? Now, if you're going to come out here and say PS5 Pro and then it's backwards compatible, we might be cooking.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? We might be cooking. We might have something that makes sense. But if you're coming out with a PS5 Pro and you're just like, it's just gonna be more stable, that's not a good sell to me.
No, it's not.
Because you know what they already did? They already put 120 on the box.
Yep.
They already put 8K on the box.
Which is fucking
How are you
insane. Yes.
gonna top that? How are you gonna top that?
Or in 12K for the PS5 Pro.
like I just don't understand. How are you going to top that?
Exactly.
Make it make sense. I said that, and I've yet to get a response still. I'm just like, I'm asking, like, what can they add to the PS5 to make it make sense to be a pro? And this kind of goes to what you were just saying, Matt, without it just being the next generation.
Exactly.
What can you do that what can you do to say this is the 2.0 of this generation? I don't get it. I don't really understand what you're going to add. You've already implemented 1440p on PS5. You've already implemented VRR supposedly. You already implemented some sort of backwards compatibility, however you guys are planning on doing it. It's just not at a larger scale. The only thing I can really see to make this thing pro is it to read my PS3 discs and PS2 discs and PS1 discs. That would make it pro to me. I don't know how you go beyond 4K, beyond 8K, beyond 120 FPS. How do you do that?
Yeah. It's silly. Like, dude, you were just saying on the boxes of both the Xbox Series X and the PS5, you get it says in big on the big gold letters on the PS5 box 8K. It's like you realize when they showed off the 4090 and AMD showed off the 7900 XTX, where like they showed like 4 games that can run 8K above 60 FPS, and that's on hardware that's way more powerful than what is in any of these consoles. So it's like it's just not even a realistic target. That shouldn't even be on the box. And like even if you were to make a pro, that still shouldn't be on the box, because it's just not a target that people care about really. People buy 8K TVs. Who's consuming 8K content? Where are you getting this 8K content from? You get it because it looks nice. It's nice. It has some value to you. That's why you get it. But there's no 8K content to be consumed. There just isn't.
And if it is 8K, it's upscaled to 8K.
Exactly.
So usually, it's never like I haven't seen anything native. Like I've seen this like we seen this video, Matt, not that long ago. It said Starfield 8K. And I was just like, dude, the game's not even 8K. Like there's no way any of this is like 8K for real. Like you're just saying 8K, and you use like an upscaler tool or whatnot, but nothing that we're viewing or doing is an 8.
Yep. Yeah. Mike says the amount of customers I've served that have said they bought a TV for 8K content and then couldn't find any 8K content. Dude, it's hard to find 4K content. It's like the only time I remember watching 4K content with cable, which I don't have anymore because I got rid of cable. I just don't use it. But was like on channels where it's like, oh, here's a concert from some artist in 4K. And it's just, they would play concerts on a loop and some of them would be in 4K. That's the only time I've seen it. That is the only time I've seen it. Starfield 8K, 15 FPS, Back from the Dead. Well, you're not wrong, because we watched that 8K Starfield Direct, and the FPS was screwed. It was very, very choppy. So whatever upscaler they were using, it messed that video up, but it did look pretty. It definitely looked pretty. I'll give them that. But yeah, I just, the whole Pro Consoles thing, it doesn't make any sense to me. I would much rather them, if you want to make generations shorter, by all means, go ahead and make generations shorter. But introducing a new console that's just a bigger, better console of the same generation a few years later, just to end that generation a few years after that, is dumb to me. Unless what they're doing is, oh, here's a Pro console and the generation is another 5 years. If that's the case, then hey, by all means, go ahead. But wasn't the case last generation, and I don't think it would be the case this generation either. So yeah, that is Pro consoles. I just wanted to bring that up because it's something that's been talked about. And speaking of consoles, did you see I can't remember if this happened while you're on vacation or not. Maybe right before. But they were talking about a Series X digital console.
The Series X digital console?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, I don't want it. But okay.
Yeah. I think that's
Uh,
cool.
I mean,
That's
for
cool.
people that don't want a disc version of whatever, sure. I mean, couldn't be me, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I got
definitely.
this version of a PS5 and the Series X. I got the Series S as well, but but like when I go shopping, like as a matter of fact, there would be no shopping if I got digital versions of the Series X and the
Yeah.
PS5. There would be no shopping for me to do. That
Yeah.
Red Dead game that I just bought, I would have had to continue to play it on 360.
Yep. Yeah. And that's definitely the downside. That is definitely the downside. But I mean, hey, hopefully, honestly, what I think they should do. I mean, they're not going to do it, um, and we'll see. But they're definitely not going to do it. Is instead of a pro console, what they should do is slowly. People aren't going to like this. Slowly start to phase out the Series S and take a loss on that Series X and make it like 350. Make that like 350 and lower the price on your normal Series X as well and get people in that way cuz I just don't see the value in a pro console. The Series S is a fucking crazy value, but you also hear about, Larians like we'll get Baldur's Gate on your console, or better yet, keep the Series S, but just remove that console parity thing, where it's like if it's not ready for Series S, you can't have it on Series X, because that's what they did for Baldur's Gate. Nah, I say get rid of that, at the very least. Just me though. What about you?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea that we came across beforehand, where it's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Next gen.
Yeah, dude, exactly. That would be fantastic. That'd be great. Start a whole new gen.
That's where I'm at because that's where I'm at, and the reason here is because I don't want, I don't think Xbox would want either. Those people that were told this whole time that they're going to run parity, and then all of a sudden that changed. That's just another backstep
Yes,
for Xbox.
it is. It is.
So instead of saying, "Oh, we're going to come out with a pro console," just finish out this generation and put a better yet, put a stopping point on this generation at this game. Like tell everybody this is the game to end this console generation, and just go to the next one. Do one SKU that's just dope and just leave it at that. One
Yeah.
SKU, and then tell everybody else to just go PC
Yeah.
if they want to, if they want to play with their graphics and all that stuff and whatnot. And and at that point, in my opinion, you could then make something that you could really go into your bag and make something wild for a
Yeah.
next generation console, and still be able to say, and then I think you'd be able to pick and choose better what goes on the Series S and X, and then what just needs to just go on the next gen console, and just say screw it.
Yeah. I mean, I like that idea a lot more than, getting rid of parity or just getting rid of the Series S in general. I think it makes, because you could still have that stuff, but have like the new generation for the enthusiasts, I guess. But like, there's so much technology now, and it's moving so fast that you could wait. It's 2023 now. You could wait till end of 2025, and you could have a badass console. You could have
That's
a
what I'm saying.
badass console by then.
That's what I'm saying. if you were just to come out and say, yo, we're going to start the new generation in 2025
Mm-hmm.
or the end of 2025 going into 2026, I think that would be phenomenal and a smart idea if you're trying to get away from if you're calling yourself making a blunder for having the Series S by any means. I like the Series S. I like what it can do, and I like the parity that it has and the price point. I think it's really dope. But if you're gonna try to scoot away from that, wouldn't you want to try to do it earlier than later, so then you can have the opportunity as prices come down for parts and stuff like that? Then by the time PlayStation comes out with their new console or whatnot, you're already again like the 360 a couple years ahead
Yep.
into that new generation. Devs are already used to working with your stuff. Those pieces that costed the console to be upwards of $600 or $700 are now a lot cheaper. So this console is being sold at $450, $500 now. And you know PlayStation's probably going to come out and have like a $600 console when they jump out initially. Especially, I think this last one was a test with this bumping up to 550. I felt like that was a test to see if they could get away with it, and they did. So coming out with something new as a PS6 at $600, I think they could go right back to what they thought they could do in the PS3 generation, unless Xbox undercuts them again like they did with 360.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there was speculation that they wanted to make the PS5 $600, and there was also speculation that they were going to do that, but then Xbox announced theirs at $500. And so, granted, it was just speculation, rumors, but it's like, if that's the case, then PlayStation might already be there at that $600 price point. They might already have that in mind. And it's just a matter, like you said, if Xbox like undercuts them with 500, or dude, God forbid they get whatever they do next into the 400s. I mean, you know, PlayStation's gonna look really stupid if they try to sell you something for 600 at that point. But yeah, I mean, I got my fingers crossed, man. I really enjoy I much prefer the console experience to the PC experience. But it's like, if we're going to get into this mode of like mid-gen refreshes every generation, and I'll get the console at the beginning of the generation, and then once that mid-gen refresh hits, I'll upgrade my PC. That's what I'm probably going to start doing if that's going to be the case. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I thought that was just a really interesting topic that's been going on the last, 2-3 weeks at this point, ever since we heard about the PS5 Pro. But to move on, we've got some information on Avowed. Obsidian talking Avowed, and this was during their little documentary that they were doing over there on their channel. It's been going on for a few months. This is like the final part of I think it's like a 4 or 5 part documentary. I remember part 1 was like 2 months ago. But there are more details about Avowed. And apparently Avowed was, early in development, a co-op game. I don't know if you saw that. But it says Avowed had a co-op focus early in development, but they now changed it to a traditional Obsidian single-player RPG. What would your thoughts be on a co-op Avowed? Just saying what you've seen so far, but co-op.
I don't know what that would really be. For the links that they try to hit, it seems like if they did attempt to do that, like the first, is it bad that the first thing I think of is Redfall?
No. No, it's
Is
not.
it bad that that's the first thing I think of? Because what it seems like they tried to do at Xbox as a whole or what they tried to do in a few different dimensions with what teams they thought were capable of is give them, or I guess see, Redfall was actually going on before Xbox, so that
Yeah.
actually doesn't make any sense. So I just think that they were trying to reach above, like pretty much punch above the waist, and then they seen how Redfall did, and they're like, let's not do that.
Yeah. Because
Because punching above the waist without knowing what you're gonna do is gonna work is so risky right now. It
oh
is
yeah,
super freaking risky right now. So
definitely.
I don't know. Like, I feel like certain people that have those aspirations of making something serious but new, yeah, it's not an easy thing to do at all. But I mean, maybe consider starting your own company, because doing something serious but completely new without going like double A before hitting triple A is terrifying.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so, man.
Like I'd say that Hellblade kind of naturally grew from double A to triple A. They grew
Yes.
into triple A. Forspoken didn't grow into triple A. They
No.
tried to jump straight into triple A. Same with Redfall.
Yeah.
That IP didn't start as double A. They tried to jump straight into triple A, and that was about as bad as it gets. Trying to
I
jump
think
straight into triple A, not knowing what you're doing.
I think the problem with Redfall, and it could be the same problem if we were to get co-op in Avowed, but thankfully we're not, is the fact that whoever tasked Arcane to make Redfall gave a single player developer the task of making a multiplayer game. And it would be the same with Obsidian and Avowed. You're giving a single player developer the task of making a multiplayer game, which just, like, sure, it can be done, but should it? And is it going to be worth it? Probably not. Probably not. So yeah, I mean, Avowed was supposed to have co-op early in development, but they changed that, so we don't know how early or when that was changed, but it was. And there's also some more details. It says Avowed is Obsidian's version of what a fantasy first person RPG is, finding the right balance between taking things from Pillars of Eternity and yet creating a new game that is more approachable for a larger audience, because which I really appreciate, because I haven't played Pillars of Eternity. I tried, but it's just that top down view. It's a lot of talking, and I just couldn't I couldn't do it. It's the same thing when I look at Baldur's Gate 3. When I hear someone talk about Baldur's Gate 3, I'm like, man, that sounds incredible. And then I watch gameplay, and I'm like, this looks like cheeks. This looks like straight butt cheeks. But, I mean, hey, who am I to argue? They're putting up the numbers. But, yeah, I couldn't get it. Have you tried Pillars of Eternity, by the way, Ham? At all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, Hard Days Mike says he has to head off. Have a great show. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you for stopping by. It's much appreciated. I'll talk to you later tonight, bud. But Avowed is set in that universe, and I'm thankful they're not. They're not. They're making it more approachable for a larger audience, which is kind of what I think Skyrim did, where it's like Skyrim is an Elder Scrolls game, but people like to say it's not as hardcore of an RPG like Oblivion or Morrowind. And honestly, I'm kind of thankful for that. Same for Fallout 4, because it was what allowed me to get into it and appreciate that stuff. It also says, with Avowed, we focus on unique, bespoke content, deep systems, and incredible storytelling that's focused on characters, societies, and factions. So factions are a thing, which is fantastic, because I'm going to be trying to join all of them. Avowed is the natural extension of all the things we care about as a studio and of all the things that we are great at. Obsidian showed Avowed to Microsoft as early as part of the acquisition process. So, honestly, that co op stuff could have been axed before they even got to Microsoft, which is interesting to think about. But just a, I'm gonna ask you a quick random question about Avowed. When do you think? I mean, we know 2024. When do you think that comes out in 2024?
Man, so I think Avowed would probably come out sometime this like late summer.
Late summer.
So I'd say about time Starfield comes out
That would be nice.
in time period, because I think Hellblade would be holiday season.
Oh, you think Hellblade's after Avowed?
I, I yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I do.
Oh wow. I've never thought about that. 'Cause,
Avowed actually showed you fighting.
yes, they did. They did.
Hellblade didn't.
That's true.
I've seen more gameplay in the little bit of Avowed that they showed than, and it's crazy how it overtook it, right? Because before
Yeah.
we'd say, oh man, we've seen some Hellblade, we've seen that gameplay that they called gameplay when it really just felt like going through scenes. Yeah, but then we see Avowed at the showcase, and then we see a little bit of Hellblade again. It's like, all right, I actually understand Avowed a little bit more than I understand Hellblade in the sense of what they're bringing to the table. Hellblade, I just know that it's going to be really pretty.
Yes, definitely will be.
That's all I know about Hellblade, right as of right now. I don't know what the mechanics look like. I don't know what one strike of the sword looks like. I don't know. But as for Hellblade, I've seen people getting hit. I've seen people getting stabbed. I've seen bears.
Yeah.
Like I've seen,
Yeah.
I just seen stuff.
Yep.
And Hellblade, I didn't. So I would expect Avowed to be like the dope, fun game of the like end of summer, and then Hellblade to kind of be like the one more thing at the end of the year.
Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah, I've never heard someone say that they think Hellblade will be after Avowed. I kind of always thought Hellblade would be winter. I think winter, like of 2024, because I think winter just
That would
makes
be amazing.
I think winter makes sense for that game. It just seems like just a cold ass game is what that seems like, and that just seems like something you would play in winter. I don't know. We'll see though. I'm interested to find out. And speaking of release dates, or what we suspect release dates will be, I wanted to talk about a few weeks ago that Stalker 2 was going to be at Gamescom. So we're going to see Stalker 2 in some capacity. I know it's going to be playable there on the floor as well. But also there was some swirling news about a possible release date for Stalker 2. I think it was December 1st. Do you think that's a placeholder, or do you think that's legit?
I'd say a placeholder.
Same.
I would never say anything certain today in games. You know, so every single thing is a placeholder. Some people still think Starfield's gonna get the play.
Oh God, yeah.
So
I saw
like,
that.
you know, so like the trust out in these streets is very minimal.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying? So yeah. And I've seen the same thing about Spider-Man 2. Some people think that might get pushed into 2024, which I don't think it will. I mean, obviously Starfield's coming out right around the corner, and I think Spider-Man will do the same thing. Insomniac don't miss. So so I'm right there with that. As much as I praise and love me some Xbox, Insomniac, they that side piece that you don't want to undersell that or
No.
overlook that. Better yet, overlook it.
Definitely
because
not.
they're fire.
Yeah, I think that's a placeholder for Stalker as well. And I have seen people saying they think Starfield will be delayed. I wonder if that's going to continue after it's gone gold. People are like, it went gold so they could announce a delay, which would be pretty psychotic. But we'll see. Someone will make that story up. But yeah,
Oh, if Starfield gets delayed at all, then it's just the most catastrophic L. You would legit see people turn into bone
yeah.
from being Xbox fans. You would literally see that.
And K
Like
Mega's first up.
I'm not sure. I don't think Gaz would be able to take it anymore. Like,
Nah, Gaz would be a pony. Gaz would be a pony so hard. He'd be a menace on Twitter if that happened.
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean that's not getting delayed. I feel like if that was getting delayed, we wouldn't have heard the September 1st date before the showcase. We'd have never heard that. But we're a little more than 2 weeks away from it, man. I just can't wait. I can't stop saying that, man. I can't wait for Starfield. But yeah, as far as Stalker 2, I think that's a placeholder. Do you think Stalker 2 comes out this year? If that is a placeholder?
I do honestly think Stalker 2 comes out this year. And I think that is one last thing from Xbox this year. Is Stalker 2. That. Because Forza, it's nice and it's gonna be in my opinion, I just got done watching some Forza footage. The official track reveal, Grand Oak Raceway.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That dropped today, right?
Phenomenal. No, 4 days ago.
What dropped today? I thought people were talking about it today.
Yeah, I don't know if anything dropped today. I'm not seeing anything from today.
Oh, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. It was a layman's track.
Oh, was it?
Yep. Okay, it's like a 28-second clip. I'll just bring it up here on my thing. Turn the volume down.
Oh, okay. So it says, yeah, official track. Maple Valley was 18 hours ago.
Oh, so there's two. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So there's Maple Valley that I'm looking at currently right now. It's only 27 seconds. Yeah. But I mean, bro, this looks amazing. But as I was saying,
fantastic.
Forza, fun, cool, but still driving game. That's what it is. I feel like Xbox would really shut the end of the year down with Stalker 2. They could really do that. The only thing that would kind of stink for it, and I still don't understand why they do this, but the only thing that kind of stinks for it is it wouldn't be eligible for Game of the Year at all until the following.
Yeah.
So it kind of stinks to me in that sense, but if they don't care about any of that and they just want to put out a dope ass game, then I could see this just. I could see Stalker 2 just being fucking amazing. Especially having that big of a break between Starfield and early to mid December. Yeah. That's plenty of gap.
Yes, it is.
To then drop another shooter of some sort.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then plus as well, if you were to push it into next year, I wouldn't see it coming out until its original release date was supposed to be.
Like in the spring or something.
Yeah, early spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope this comes out this year. I'm pulling for them. It's one of those things, I wouldn't be upset if they announced a delay. I think everyone would kind of understand. But I hope they can get it out this year. I really am hyped for Stalker 2. Which is nuts because I tried to play this the original Stalker game on PC.
It's terrible.
It's hard to play, man. It's very because you can't use a controller. You got to use mouse and keyboard, and it's like there's so many systems going on, and I don't know what's going on. Everyone's talking to me, explaining different things I need to go do. I missed the boat on it. I just missed the boat on that game, but I'm gonna be there day one for Stalker 2, and I'm hyped for that. Hopefully they can get it out this year, but we will find out. Hopefully at Gamescom we find out. But yeah, I think I think that is everything. I think we're kind of to the end of the show, Ham. Is there anything you want to add before you get into the outros? Anything you thought was interesting topic wise?
I mean, not really. I'm just looking at this Grand Oak Raceway for motorsports, and I'm just blown away. It looks so goddamn good. Have you seen that specific one?
I'm gonna look it up right now and I'll put it on the screen.
Oh, you gotta do it real quick. Just do it.
Let's see.
Just do it.
All right, there we
It
go.
looks so goddamn clean. It
Yeah, that
does.
does look nuts.
You're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, oh man, what's up? Like
That
that
does.
water, all of it just looks amazing.
Ooh, first
So,
person driving. Yeah, dude. That game is gonna be stupid looking. That's gonna be a crazy looking game. I'm also really interested. I mean, I'm probably gonna play a lot of that more on console, but because it is coming to PC, I'm interested to download that on PC and just see what happens when I turn that all the way up. Just see what happens, because that's gonna look nuts. But yeah, I mean, it's a great end of the year for gaming. There's a lot of stuff coming out, man. And oh yeah,
PC is just gonna start shaking and foam's gonna start kicking out of it
it's gonna
and be convulsing.
it's gonna lose control. It's gonna lose all function. Uh, Speaking of games coming out though, before we get out of here, did you see Lies of P went gold a while ago? At
Yeah.
this point, yeah, dude, that's another game coming out in September. Of all
Did you know
times-
it's coming out for PS5 and PC according to IGN?
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I want to talk about that real quick. So, dude, they showed. I mean, they showed a bunch of games, tons of games on IGN, like highlighting the end of the year, what's coming out the rest of the year, and it's like everything they showed. Like, forget Lies of P, although that is the big talking point. Uh, Everything they showed didn't mention Xbox. None of it. None of what they showed mentioned Xbox. Even Lies of P, which is coming day one to Game Pass. Which is, I don't know how, especially because the developers, the publishers for Lies of P are talking about how important Game Pass is to the marketing for this game. How you forget to mention, hey, it's coming to Xbox and Game Pass. Because it's not coming to PS Plus, but they got PS5 plastered right there on the screen when it's playing, and it's like, I don't know. I saw you guys were talking about that on your show yesterday, and I just thought that was insane. Because I vaguely heard about it, but I didn't really keep up with it. And the way Loke explained it, and the way you guys were talking about it's, I don't know, dude. I my whole thought process on that is IGN just kind of stinks. They kind of just stink. And you know who else stinks along with IGN is Game Rant. I'll say Game Rant also kind of stinks. Have you seen Game Rant? Like someone put like a little collage of photos of screenshots of articles from Game Rant. It's like Starfield lost before it even launched. It's like the problem with Starfield. This was like months ago too. These are articles from months ago. Like the problem with Starfield. Starfield's gonna have this issue. Starfield can't compete with this game. It's just like a collage of like 10 or 15 articles of just shitting on Starfield, saying what's wrong with it before it even launched. Here's the problem with Starfield. Hasn't even launched yet. So here's, oh man, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan.
It's pretty goddamn disheartening. Because what bothers me is that people are or these news companies or providers or whatnot are more or less just kind of using Xbox however they can.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it's something good, like IGN had that, they just had the ID at Xbox thing. They just had that.
Yeah.
And then they just so happened to forget to put Xbox on these titles. Like I just don't buy that kind of stuff. Especially when they've had multiple incidents where it's like you could clearly see the pander going in one direction. So then when Xbox reaches out and says, yo, we'd like to partner and do this stuff, and then you see this happen shortly after, it's just like, dude, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how these guys are still so credible to people.
Yeah.
Like when I feel like when I look at an IGN article, Game Rant, or whatever, it stinks because I can't just read it. I have to read it and then read into what they say.
Yes, that's a great way to put it, actually. That's a great way to put it.
It's almost like having to read the article twice because it's just like, how much bias is really here? Who is making this article here? And like, is this leaning in any direction at all? Or is it just flat out honesty? And it's hard to decipher that sometimes, even as somebody that follows gaming. So imagine how much they're taking advantage of the genuine populace, right?
Yep.
The general populace. It's just kind of sad. It's just the way news is, and it stinks from politics all the way down to gaming. It's the same stuff, fear mongering before there's anything to be scared of.
I made a comment in your guys' chat yesterday. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but the general gist of it was, I feel like the problem, like it's easy to say that the media's bias. I feel like a lot of that bias is actually just them, especially for PlayStation, even Nintendo to some degree, because those are the bigger players and main console gaming. I think a lot of that perceived bias is just a fear of falling out of good graces with the bigger platforms. I feel like PlayStation's, you guys touched on a little bit yesterday, but PlayStation's so huge, same with Nintendo, that it's like they've got a lot of pull. They've got just a stupid amount of pull. And it was for a long time just not cool to like Xbox, especially last generation. And I feel like, that's just kind of the way it is. It's like, not only is it not cool to like Xbox, although it's getting there. It's much improved since last generation, definitely. But I mean, it's like, I still feel like there's a pull for PlayStation where it's like we don't want to get on the bad side of PlayStation. So they'll do whatever they need to do. They'll make articles. They'll do that thing where they did like the games, and it's like, oh, it's coming to PS5 and PC. They'll do that because it makes PS5 look good, and I think it's just a business side of things where it's like you could also narrow it down to the individual. Like maybe an individual has a bias. I have a bias. You have a bias. Everyone has a bias. It's the way it is. But it's like, at the business level, I just feel like there's probably something they have to, like individuals have to do to help that business. Where it's like, we're not going to make this person look bad or this person look better than this person because that doesn't benefit us financially. That doesn't benefit us in terms of ad revenue. If we make in fact, here, the thing, if they make an ad like the way they did, not an ad, but an article the way they did with those video games, it's like it'll get more clicks because there's more controversy around it because people are talking about, oh, they ditched Xbox, and then you got PlayStation people like, see, no one gives a shit about Xbox. So it's like, whether it's bad or not, they got clicks off of it. And that's really all IGN cares about. So I kind of think that's what it really boils down to. It's just business. It just sucks. It's not. I don't know. That's why I appreciate Gaz's site and Ace's site, Game On Daily. Dude, I go to Game On Daily to get any news. I either bookmark it in Twitter or I go to Game On Daily. Because if I go to IGN, sure, there's news there, but it's like, dude, just the headlines, man. Just the headlines for some of these articles that you see on IGN or Game Rant or, God forbid, Kotaku. It's I don't know. It's not fun. It doesn't make me love gaming more when I check out IGN's website, and I'm never checking out Kotaku's website. So I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way, I guess. But yeah, that's that's my thoughts on IGN and everything. Just as a whole, nothing to do with the last week of their antics, but just as a whole, I just don't love it. But it is what it is. We all move on. But we can head into the outros now and get up out of here. I'm starving. I need to eat something. So, Ham,
Same.
let us know where people can find you. Let us know where you're at. Let them know.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me as usual, Matt. And you can
Yep.
find me on TSWS Gaming on YouTube. I do shows pretty much all week, other than Wednesday because I'm here. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And then on Twitter as well, at HamSolo05 Gaming. That's where you can find me.
Nice. Very nice. And as for myself, you can find me obviously here Wednesdays 11 a.m. with Ham Solo every week for the Two Player Podcast. And then Mondays and Fridays 11 a.m. for my videos that I make on a weekly basis. Stanley Francois, appreciate you. Back from the dead, appreciate you. Mike, Hard Days Mike, Jeremy Brown, Too Big, appreciate all you guys for stopping by and hanging out in the chat. David Key, oh, I missed this. Oh, I feel terrible. I don't even know if this guy's still here anymore. He was asking, what's the title of your podcast again? I'm assuming he wasn't talking about me. He's talking about you, because our podcast is right here. I was assuming, because you were talking about, I think what you were saying on your show. God damn it. But yeah, I missed that. But yeah, appreciate you all for stopping by. It's very much appreciated. But we're gonna get out of here. Oh yeah, you can follow me on Twitter as well at Matt Likes Games. But everything else you'll find it here during the week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So look forward to that. And then I'm also starting to stream a little bit more, usually on Fridays and maybe tonight as well. We'll see. We'll see. But usually on Fridays. But with that being said, we can hop out of here. Thank you all for stopping by, and we will see you all next week.